and welcome to DawnNews English. With 20 minutes, I'm Nadia Naqi with you. Today, we talk about the much discussed topic on the electronic media as well as print media and, of course, the social media, the appointment of the new army chief in Pakistan. Why is it so important to discuss this? Why is it that former Prime Minister Imran Khan feels that this post is extremely important and that he should be included, or probably the next government after the general elections should make such an appointment and not the current Prime Minister? We have with us Brigadier retired Nawaz. Thank you so much for joining us. Ahmed, Bilal, Mehboob, Executive Director PILDAT. Thank you so much for giving your time on 20 minutes. Brigadier sir, how important is it for any political government or political parties to say the appointment of an army chief?
You see, I'm surprised it is not, one should not be bothered. All over the world, nobody talks about appointment of army chief or chairman, joint chiefs of staff committee, because it is a routine procedure and his promotion is done in the light of regular, the way things happens. 4 to 5 senior most 3-star generals names are put up to the Ministry of Defense, and then it's a prerogative of the sitting Prime Minister. He has to now select and promote, and that's all. So I think that we must understand that we should not make it an issue. Nobody talks in the world about it. And then who shall become the army chief? He will never do anything against the constitution of Pakistan. He will only work about the well-being of the Pakistan military personnel's operational readiness of the military. And then, of course, he will work under the constitution of Pakistan, that he will support the sitting government within the Ain and in the constitution. And that is what he will do it.
Ahmed, Bilal, Mehboob Saab, you have always talked about the civil-military relationships in Pakistan. It is something which is very important for any political government. And maybe that is the reason why the appointment of an army chief has become so important. It was a hush-hush business, in the past, but this time Prime Minister has really brought into a public space. So do you not think that this speaks volumes of the political, I would say, how the army chiefs or probably the establishment works or intervenes, I would say, in the politics of Pakistan?
Although it is unprecedented, the kind of anxiety and excitement and the public discussion which former Prime Minister Imran Khan is exhibiting in the context of appointment of new Chief of Army Staff. But I think let's admit the fact that Chief of Army Staff is, if not the most important or most powerful person within the power dynamics of the country, is certainly one of the few top most powerful actors in the state of Pakistan.
Right.
So I think whatever decisions have to be made, the role of military had been dominant in the past. By all estimation, I think this will remain so in the future also, unless the new army chief decides that he wants to make a different kind of a policy and zero interference in the political and those affairs which do not directly relate or are not directly relevant to the armed forces. So I think we have seen the past baggage also. We have seen even at least 2 former Director Generals of ISI speaking in public about their own role and role of the institution in influencing the elections and not only just elections, about the political government. Retired General Hamid Gul Marhoom spoke a number of times on the national television. He wrote about it. He spoke to us. He was part of a small group of people that we were meeting regularly. And General Asad Durrani went a step further, and he even submitted an affidavit to the court, to the Supreme Court. And there was then Air Marshal Asghar Khan filed a petition, and there was a case hearing in the Supreme Court. So these are very unfortunate things which have happened in the past, which very clearly exhibit that military was used in elections and politics of the country. So it is not a general rule, but most of the time we have seen this happening. And therefore, if the politicians are worried and they're anxious to see who the next Chief of Army Staff is and whether they will get the chance to nominate him, then it's only natural. But it's also natural, but it's very futile, because we have seen in the past that Army Chief, no matter who appoints him, even if that person is appointed even beyond merit, which means even if he's not the senior most person, still that person will work independently, will not be following
will
the
have his own policy, and we've seen that happening, and especially with former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. I think he's the only one, Brigadier Haris, who has been appointing the army chiefs. I mean, if you look back in history, he appointed General Musharraf. Then later, he appointed Raheel Sharif. Then, he appointed General Qamar Javed Bajwa. And now again, PMLN is getting a chance to appoint the new army chief. Whereas Mr. Zardari, when he was the president, an extension was given. And same for Mr. Imran Khan, when he was the sitting prime minister, an extension was given. So then, why does Imran Khan feel when this time the establishment, okay, there has been a past baggage about the military's political role, or how the political parties have been talking about the political engineering, especially during elections. But now when they say we're neutral.
Nadia, the problem is they don't learn a lesson. You see, whosoever becomes army chief, he doesn't follow the political aims of any government. They follow the constitution and they follow the military training and operational readiness. If we talk about Nawaz Sharif, he promoted General Musharraf, then he promoted General Raheel, then he promoted General Bajwa. What happened? They did not serve to him, they served to the Pakistan. So that's and that's what Imran Khan should also learn. The point is, if you are not interested to appoint any particular individual 3-star to become a chief army staff and serve your purpose, you may be right, but still it will not happen, let me tell you. So let any sitting prime minister be promoting that thing. The problem is that we look towards military chief army staff. That is the fault of the political individuals, political leaders. Why, if your governance is good, you are doing your all duties perfectly. You're looking after the people of Pakistan, you're following your manifesto, you're maintaining good economic situation of Pakistan, then people will not look towards chief army staff. They will not look towards the army. You see, that is the folly. What happened in Turkey? Here the gun, and people just lied down in front of the tanks and they said, no, we will not let the army come. That should be you should be doing so good work for the people of Pakistan. That is the problem. Pakistan is a national security state, and army has a value, but it has a value for being very strong and professional army. India, you can see we have done it in 27th of February 2019.
Right.
That is what we eliminated terrorism from Pakistan, which 51 countries and NATO countries, they could not do. So these are the things we should be looking after and make the military more strong professionally. But don't involve in politics. And Imran Khan, I don't understand the issue is, you are a political leader, people like you got a good following. Then fight your political battle. Don't fight with the appointments like institutions like judiciary and establishment. Don't talk about it.
He seemed very, very angry, Brigadier Saab. He's saying that nobody should be answering unknown numbers, and if you have answered, you must threaten them, and you should just forget about these the fear factor that exists. But this is also true that unknown numbers do call politicians. It happened in 2018, post 2018. And if it's happening now, if it was happening then, it was wrong. If it's happening now, it is wrong.
Nadia, let me tell you, now Pakistan, our military establishment is apolitical and they are maintaining it. They are not interfering in Punjab. They are not interested in anyone. They want, you see, PMLN leadership is saying still he's a Dadla. What does it mean? Means they have different perception about military. Now they are not interfering at all. They're not supporting any political government. They want that Pakistan should have a political stability and economic stability. And for those things, you need to be politically stable. Only then you will have economic stability. And that is what Pakistan, every individual, you, me, and Bilal, all we are worried about it. That what is going to happen after 3 months.
Okay.
That is the thing we wanted.
So because Ahmed, Bilal, you're always, PILDAT works a lot on the democratic norms, the values, and the type of systems that exist. Do you really see this happening? That yes, finally the establishment has also decided not to have a political role, and political parties actually accepting it. Do they really want that the establishment doesn't have a political role, or each and every political party wants that role to exist for their survivals?
What we have seen in the past, every political party wants military to basically support their politics. They're not so keen that they should remain neutral. I think Imran Khan is the first person who is very explicit about it. He's not demanding that the military should be neutral. As a matter of fact, every sane person should be asking military to stay neutral within the confines of the constitution, do not play any political role. But here is Mr. Imran Khan, who is very explicitly and repeatedly asking them, don't be neutral, support me. You're supposed to support me and bring me back to power. That is your national duty. And that is what worries me. I think all political parties, with sincerity, should really demand that military, and should make it possible that military should stay neutral. Military should not be pulled into politics. Military should not try to come into politics. And for that purpose, they should very seriously sit across the table and talk to them. I think we have got an excellent institution called National Security Committee, where we have the top brass of our military represented, and we have the top political leadership also represented. They can even call opposition people on an as per need basis in that meeting, and that is where they should talk about it and resolve whatever the issues are. And I think the bottom line should be that military should be spared from these political activities, whether they are pulled into it or they are attracted into it, that is something else. But it is not in the interest of military as an institution, it is not in the interest of this country that military spends any energy or any time in political role. And negotiations, discussion, sitting across the table and being serious, and politicians playing their own political role very seriously, not casually. That is the way to really keep military out of politics.
I think for the establishment also, there has to be a realization that, whoever the people of Pakistan will choose through the ballot, it's about them. They have to govern. But when the establishment steps in, or there is some kind of anxiety, Brigadier Saab, that, things are not running properly and, something must be done, especially what happened in Punjab, in the previous government, that every now and then, it is not an open secret that Mr. Imran Khan's government was told to manage Punjab, and that, the then chief minister was not working properly. Why does the army or the institution feel that they can run the affairs of the country, or they understand all the affairs of the country versus the politicians that have been elected? Because there is a perception generally about the politicians that they are not capable, or they are corrupt, and therefore we need to step in to probably let Pakistan progress the way we want it to progress.
Now there's 100% realization. They are not interested. They have decided that they will never interfere in political affairs. And had this situation been about 20 years back or 15 years back, the things would have been different. It is the worst economic conditions, worst political disturbance. Then there's a chaos and confusion. Pakistan is heading towards Bangali sort of a thing. So still army is not doing anything. And that credit should go to the military realization and the top military leadership decision. So there is no doubt about it. And
So is
army
this, sorry,
did
Brigadier,
not.
sorry to interrupt you, but is this a realization after the institution's role being discussed in public space by Mr. Imran Khan, or because it started off with Mr. Nawaz Sharif, because even he had taken, he had also taken names from the institution, the top military leadership, but Mr. Imran Khan has really taken it forward.
I think it had started most likely from October 2021 onwards. When military stopped interfering or supporting any political party. The issue is that we should not talk. Abhi, the point is, now you are a Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mr. Shahbaz Sharif. Why should you go to London and discuss these issues with a leader who is already an accused? Then he is out of politics. He's sitting in London. He's wanted in Pakistan. That's why you make it more controversial.
Okay.
You see, you should be taking all things in Pakistan. Decision should not be taken in London. You have a political party. You got your own ministers. Think over it. Decide with the defense minister, and finalize it. You also make a difficult thing, and then of course you make controversial things like this. Issue is decide quietly. Whatever is happening, your name will put up, and decide the chief army staff. And any chief army staff coming, let me tell you, will not do any unconstitutional thing. They will not support any other, they will not work against opposition. They will only work under Constitution number 1, plus operational readiness of military. And that is his main task.
Right.
And the protection of sovereignty of Pakistan all along the border. That is what is going to happen. So don't discuss things, decide whenever it's constitutionally allowed and do it. And that's the end of it.
Okay, we just have last 3 minutes, Mr. Ahmed, Bilal. Do you think do you see the institution under pressure when so much of it is being said by Imran Khan, the chairman of PTI, and that too in his public rallies? And now you see the names of all those, probable candidates for the next chief of army staff are being discussed on the social platforms that, this person has done this person is maybe close to, this party has already served this party as in this capacity.
See, it's very unfair. It's just the point is, when there are 5-6 senior most generals are in the line, you create a lot of anxiety for them also.
Right.
Why do you tell he's a favorite, he's a running horse for the PTI and he's running horse for the Nawaz Sharif party? Don't do it. It's very unfair for the senior officers also, you see. When they know that it's the prerogative Prime Minister of Pakistan, and I would say he should be very clear that a professional, competent, deserving 3-star.
Absolutely. So because we're just coming to the closing, Mr. Ahmed, I would like you to express your comments on this.
Yeah, I'm sure military as an institution is under a lot of pressure because of these public pronouncements. They are popular leaders, and there are a lot of people in the rallies where these things are discussed. So I'm not surprised if they are under pressure. They feel uncomfortable about it, and I think these things should not be discussed in public. These are the things which should be very responsibly discussed at the forum which are meant for this purpose. And if you are Prime Minister, you should be taking a decision in a dignified manner. But I think it is because of all the wrongdoings which we have done over the past many years that they are now boomeranging, and it's going to affect us, all of us as a country, as military, as an institution, as politics also. So it's very sad, but it is certainly generating pressure, yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Brigadier Retired Haris Nawaz Saab, Ahmed Bilal, Mehboob Saab. As both the guests say, that, it is very important that everything takes place according to the procedure that has been prescribed, according to the Constitution. The appointment of the army chief was never discussed so openly. We had never found discussion in the public space as we see it now. But yet, it is an important position, not only for the armed forces, as Brigadier Saab mentioned, the duties and responsibilities. But at the same time, we're hoping that the political role of the institution or the establishment is as neutral as they have been saying it. And political parties should also learn a lesson that it is their governance, it is their constitution of their parties. It's their manifestos that will take them and the country progress, and not the institution's support. That's all for today. Allah Hafiz.